18 years ago, a cataclysmic event shook the world. In an instant, a towering structure materialized from thin air, bringing with it a mysterious gate that unleashed monstrous beings into our realm. Chaos ensued, and humanity found itself in a desperate struggle for survival. But amid the turmoil, something extraordinary occurred. People began awakening to newfound powers, becoming what the world would come to know as players. These gifted individuals were humanity's glimmer of hope, rising to the challenge and becoming a powerful new force to reckon with. They became symbols of wealth and admiration, celebrated as heroes, yet, our main protagonist, whose name is yet to be revealed, was never granted the privilege of choice. Instead, we find him diligently working a part-time job as a food delivery person. Today, he enters the Grand Guild Company building, carrying trays of delicious meals to serve the customers. A man in a sharp suit greets him, directing him to place the food on the designated table. Sorry for being late, our protagonist apologizes as he serves the hungry patrons, urging them to enjoy their meals. As he makes his way back to the restaurant on his trusty scooter, his attention is drawn to a massive billboard displaying the newest hero, Yusikwu. This remarkable individual, aged 18, possesses the rare ability to freeze his adversaries, making defeating them a breeze. Yusikwu is what they call an innate ability user, a player with a cheat-like power, deemed vastly superior to regular players. His daydream is interrupted by an impatient honk from the car behind him. Apologizing once again, our protagonist resumes his journey, navigating through the bustling city streets. Nightfall arrives, and he finally returns to his humble abode. The sight of an overflowing mailbox fills him with anticipation, hoping to find a coveted player invitation letter. However, reality delivers a harsh blow, as he discovers letters demanding loan repayments and hospital bills, but no invitation letter in sight. Disappointed, he lets out a sigh, wondering when his chance will come. With a heavy heart, our protagonist enters the house, greeted warmly by his younger sister. Grateful for his hard work, she shares that she was up doing homework and that their mother is sleeping more peacefully than usual. This news brings a sense of relief to our protagonist's troubled mind. Concerned about their mother's well-being, he starts to inquire if his sister gave her a massage, but before he could finish, she whispers, "Happy birthday." In her hands, she presents a delightful chocolate cake adorned with 18 glowing candles. It's a heartfelt surprise, and our protagonist is taken aback by his sister's thoughtfulness. Amid the celebration, he can't help but ask where she got the money for the cake, considering the funds he gave her for new clothes. His sister denies using the money for the cake, but he can see through her fib as her clothes are tattered. She insists she had money and playfully threatens to eat the entire cake if he won't join her, calling out her name. Yujong, our protagonist, thanks her sincerely, cherishing this unexpected gesture from his little sister. However, before they dive into the sweet treat, she hands him an envelope, suggesting they read the letter first. Thinking it's one of the birthday letters she wrote for him, he opens it and is left utterly shocked. It's a player invitation letter from the Players Association, a dream come true. Speechless and overwhelmed, he finally received what he had been longing for. The letter confirmed that he was indeed a player, someone with extraordinary abilities. His sister confesses that she secretly retrieved the letter from the mailbox to surprise him. Overjoyed, she congratulates her older brother, wrapping him in a warm embrace. Filled with hope and determination, our protagonist believes this is his chance to change their lives for the better. However, as he quietly opens the door to his mother's bedroom, where her frail form lies in bed, he contemplates what lies ahead. The player life offers great promise, but what he desires most is to find a way to heal his mother's illness. Excitement and determination surged through Kim Giju as he stood outside the Grand Korea Players Association building, ready to embark on his journey. Suppressing his emotions, he knew this was just the beginning of something extraordinary. As he entered the building, a friendly receptionist greeted him with a warm good morning. Introducing himself as Kim Giju, he followed her instructions, uttering the words "status window." In an instant, a pop-up window materialized, displaying his name and level 1 status. However, next to his innate ability, there were question marks, indicating it hadn't been revealed yet. Curious, he inquired about this to the receptionist, with a smile. She congratulated him on being an innate ability user, but the specifics remained a mystery for now. Kim Giju was overjoyed. Not only was he now a player, but he also possessed an extraordinary, godlike innate ability. His hands trembled with excitement as he rechecked the status window, confirming the truth of his newfound powers. Unbeknownst to him, another player had overheard their conversation from afar. As the receptionist assured him that a trainer would be arriving shortly to provide detailed guidance, the stranger approached them. To everyone's surprise, the mysterious player turned out to be none other than Yusikwa, the esteemed hero with the freezing ability. Both Kim Giju and the receptionist were taken aback by Yusikwa's sudden appearance. Ever confident, Yusikwa asked the receptionist if he could be Kim Giju's guide, having overheard their discussion unintentionally. While it was against the norm, the receptionist couldn't refuse the request from the newest hero, recognizing him as Yusikwa. After all, she boasted 10 years of experience as a pro, and she was willing to make an exception for such an esteemed figure. Kim Giju couldn't believe his luck. Guided by none other than the renowned Yusikwa, he knew this was a chance to grow stronger, learn about his innate ability, and become a true force to be reckoned with. Following Yusikwa, Kim Giju ventured into the portal zone, ready to face the unknown. Despite his nerves, he affirmed his readiness to proceed. However, upon seeing the multitude of monsters at the entrance of the first floor, Kim Giju couldn't help but express his concern. Yusikwa, on the other hand, remained unfazed, assuring him that this was an unusual occurrence but a great opportunity for them. Explaining that the situation would allow for quicker explanations, Yusikwa introduced the 100 Goblin test. This test was designed to assess the potential of players below level 10. Participants had to defeat 100 goblins without using any skills, and the time taken for this challenge determined their future potential. As Yusikwa elaborated on the ranks based on clear times, Kim Giju learned that innate ability users were the most remarkable. A regular player might take years to reach a certain level, while an innate ability user could achieve the same in just a few months. Their growth potential was truly tremendous, making them stand out in the world of players. Eyes gleaming with ambition, Yusikwa shared his dream with Kim Giju. He aimed to create the best guild, surpassing all others, and to achieve that, he sought skilled players, especially those with innate abilities like Kim Giju. Encouragingly, Yusikwa expressed his anticipation of meeting Kim Giju again in the tower once he became stronger. With newfound determination, they commenced their training, engaging the goblins with tenacity and vigor. For Kim Giju, this was a turning point. He vowed to change his life, to grow stronger, and to unlock the full potential of his innate ability. 5 years had passed since Kim Giju embarked on his journey as a player. Now, in the heart of a dense forest, the sounds of intense combat filled the air. As the view clears, we witness Kim Giju locked in battle with a goblin. With a final strike, he triumphs over the creature, but exhaustion takes its toll, leaving him gasping for breath on the ground. Approaching the scene, two guys speculate that it must be part of the infamous 100 Goblin Challenge, a popular test among players. Despite his victory, Kim Giju's frustration is palpable as he calls out for his status window. Overwhelmed by disappointment, Kim Giju questions how someone like him, who was given the rare opportunity of being a player with a special innate ability, but for the past 5 years it still takes him an hour to kill a goblin. We see the status window, revealing his name, level 1, and innate ability still shrouded in question marks. He has remained stagnant for 5 long years. Amidst a group of players celebrating their swift goblin kills, one figure stands out, delivering a single sword swing that effortlessly obliterates a goblin. The group congratulates each other, reveling in the easy experience points earned. They chatter about leveling up and express excitement for tomorrow's journey to the second floor. scheduled to meet at the entrance in the morning. As the guide bids farewell to the party, hushed whispers follow in his wake. Rumors swirl among the members about their guide, the lowest ranked player among guide users, who's ironically nicknamed the player who can't level up. Little do they know that this seemingly unremarkable guide is none other than Kim Giju. With his duties as a guide complete, Kim Giju retreats to a secluded area known only to him, a secret spot he's found after wandering on the lowest floor for the longest time. The watch on his wrist reminds him of the significance of this moment. As he gazes at the specific location where a lone goblin spawns daily, he prepares to ambush it. Moving cautiously, Kim Giju steps closer, trying not to alert the goblin to his presence. However, a slight misstep creates a noise that catches the goblin's attention. In an instant, the creature turns, locking eyes with Kim Giju, and launches a fierce attack with its spear aimed straight for his head. Reacting with lightning speed, Kim Giju barely manages to deflect the strike, using his sword as a last-second defense. The goblin's relentless assault pushes him to the limits of his skill, and he realizes that today's battle will be no easy feat. As Kim Giju makes his way to the guide team management office, he unexpectedly bumps into Teo, another fellow guide. Teo appears agitated, offering a quick apology before exiting, leaving Kim Giju puzzled by his behavior. Inside the office, he seeks answers from the guide team manager Otashik about Teo's situation. With an embarrassed expression, Manager Otashik reveals that Teo will be taking over Kim Giju's group starting tomorrow. Due to the rumors surrounding Kim Giju, the group requested a change in their guide. This news stings, reminding Kim Giju of the nickname that had been circulating about him. Meanwhile, on the news, the Angela Guild's potential breakthrough on the 75th floor is making headlines, sparking celebration among players. In the world today, everything revolves around players, akin to idols. Gates can manifest anywhere, and the opportunity to become a player is open to anyone. A specific mention on the news catches Kim Giju's attention, a request for help from Korea's Player Association regarding an S-ranked gate in the U.S. The promise of considerable compensation for participants lures many, but for Kim Giju, the path to becoming a true player seems distant. As the guide team manager hands over Kim Giju's paycheck for the day, he expresses that Teo shouldn't be blamed for the recent changes. However, Kim Giju reassures the manager that Teo is not at fault and has nothing to apologize for. The manager then surprises Kim Giju with unexpected news: a commission has been given to him. The revelation leaves Kim Giju astonished, wondering what this commission entails and how it might affect his journey as a player. The next day, a new group member, Kim Seonpil, introduced himself to guide Kim Giju as Sequa's cousin. Surprised by this connection, Kim Giju welcomed him. The rest of the party consisted of Yoon Jae-won, Yoon Sung-woo, and Kim Hanul. They were all gathered for a tutorial lasting 5 days and 4 nights, starting that day. As they set out, they eventually reached a spot to set up camp as night approached. Working together, they pitched tents and prepared food for dinner. Gathering around the campfire, Yoon Jae-won asked a rather blunt question about Kim Giju's level not increasing. Kim Seonpil was visibly frustrated by his party members' impoliteness, but Kim Giju remained calm and admitted the truth. He assured them that if they had any other questions, he would gladly answer. Conversation turned to their training for the day, centered around learning how to defeat monsters. Kim Giju encouraged them, assuring them that they would be able to level up and catch up with others in no time. He mentioned that as long as they didn't encounter a guardian, they wouldn't be in grave danger. Guardians were elite monsters found on each floor, often targeted by guilds and large parties for their valuable experience and item drops. However, they were incredibly dangerous, especially for lower-ranking players. Kim Giju explained that guilds focused on hunting these guardians, particularly on lower floors, so they should be relatively safe from running into them. Meanwhile, on the 4th floor of the tower, an orc was desperately fleeing from something. Tripping over a rock, the orc fell to the ground, fear coursing through its body. As it turned around, its terror grew as it saw a much larger, more menacing monster approaching. with a chilling crunch of bones and splashing of blood. An even bigger monster with a ravenous glint in its eyes emerged, leaving a scene of horror in its wake. On day 2 of the tutorial, the party found themselves on the second floor of the tower, facing orcs in the forest. Despite being larger than goblins, the orcs were slower, making it easier for the group to clear them. Their combined efforts and newfound skills allowed them to overcome the challenges with relative ease. Day 3 took them to the third floor, where they encountered both goblins and orcs together. However, the lack of intelligence and leadership among the monsters worked in their favor, as the group efficiently handled them. Kim Gijoo's clever tactic of using a single rock to create infighting among the monster party proved invaluable, allowing them to overcome the odds, with the guide's assistance. They swiftly leveled up and navigated through the safest paths. After setting up camp and enjoying a meal, excitement buzzed among the party members as they discussed the upcoming 5th floor test, which they would face after enduring the 4th floor the next day. Anticipation filled the air as they eagerly wondered what classes they would receive upon completing the test. However, amidst the lively chatter and dreams of their future classes, Kim Gijoo found himself lost in thoughts, reminiscing about the 5th floor. There was a hint of nostalgia and perhaps some unresolved emotions tied to that particular level. On the 4th floor, the monsters appeared similar to those on the 3rd floor. But with a crucial difference, they were stronger and faster, requiring the party to adapt their strategy accordingly. Despite the challenge, each member remained in top shape, displaying their newfound skills and learning quickly. However, amidst their progress, a cloud of dust in the distance caught Kim Gijoo's attention, raising alarm bells in his mind. Dust winds were not supposed to appear on the 4th floor today, and this unexpected occurrence filled him with a sense of foreboding. Urgently, he warned the party that they needed to leave the area immediately. Kim Gijoo had long understood that tutorials were no mere game. The risks were real, and the slightest misstep could spell disaster. As the group attempted to escape, one member suffered a leg injury, and another froze in fear as an orc attacked, narrowly saved by a fellow party member. With a sinking feeling, Kim Gijoo prayed that the approaching figure behind the charging orcs was not what he feared, a guardian. Yet, as the dust settled, the colossal monster revealed itself with a deafening scream, confirming Kim Gijoo's worst fear. With time pressing against them, Kim Gijoo swiftly took action. He threw a smoke bomb at the approaching horde of monsters, creating a diversion and buying them precious moments to escape. The healthy members of the party carried their wounded comrades as they followed Kim Gijoo, seeking refuge in a cave nestled on the side of a rocky cliff. Inside the cave, they caught their breath and attempted to assess their situation. Kim Gijoo informed them about the unexpected appearance of a guardian on the 4th floor, emphasizing the need to stay vigilant and understand their circumstances. However, their focus was interrupted when one of the party members remained unconscious due to a poison wound sustained during their escape. Kim Gijoo assured them that she would recover once she took the antidote. But to their dismay, the antidote was missing. It had fallen out of Kim Gijoo's backpack during their hurried retreat. He berated himself for making such a rookie mistake in a critical moment. Despite the urgency of the situation, Kim Gijoo maintained composure and devised a plan. He told the rest of the party to stay put while he went to summon a rescue team. Concerned for his safety, they advised him against venturing out alone, but Kim Gijoo reassured them. With extensive knowledge of the tutorial floors, he believed he could handle the task safely. Emerging from the cave, Kim Gijoo faced a challenging reality. The Guardian's presence had disrupted the monster's usual patterns, making it harder to predict their locations. With only one smoke bomb left, he searched for an alternative path to reach a higher point on the hill where he could light the signal. In a harrowing moment, Kim Gijoo found himself facing the looming threat of the Guardian. As he attempted to light the signal for the rescue team, the Guardian struck him from behind, sending him crashing into a rocky wall, injured and coughing up blood. The explosion from the fallen smoke bomb filled the area with a dense cloud of smoke, obscuring his vision and leaving him disoriented. Summoning his courage, Kim Giju reached for a nearby flare gun and shot it into the air, hoping to attract help. With determination in his heart, he started running, knowing that his only chance of survival lay in putting as much distance as possible between him and the Guardian. Although injured and in pain, he refused to succumb to despair, determined to find a way to escape. As he ran, the path ahead led him to the door that marked the entrance to the 5th floor exam. But this was a treacherous place for a level 1 player like him, a realm of death and danger. The thought of leaving his family behind gnawed at him, making it impossible to simply jump through the door to evade the Guardian. Yet, driven by an instinct beyond reason, he continued onward. The door beckoned with an aura of mystery, tempting him with the possibility of escape, even if it meant facing an uncertain fate on the other side. The Guardian's relentless pursuit left him with a choice: face almost certain death at the Guardian's hands or venture through the enigmatic door into the unknown. Summoning his resolve, Kim Giju made the daring decision to look beyond the door, hoping for a glimpse of what lay on the other side. To his astonishment, the announcement confirmed his status as a player, stating that he had entered the area of the first test, and the conditions had been met. In the midst of confusion and disbelief, Kim Giju found himself lying on a grassy field as the system announcements continued to flood in. The system notified that the unverified ability within him has been identified. Also unexpectedly, the difficulty of the first test has been reduced. To his astonishment, the test turned out to be hunting a goat. This bizarre situation left him dumbfounded, and he instinctively grabbed the sword that materialized next to him, slaying the goat standing just within arm's reach. As the system prompts filled his vision, indicating that he had passed the test and his class had been decided, Kim Giju was bombarded with unexpected rewards. The phrase "perfect clear" echoed in his mind. But he couldn't comprehend what was happening. He had entered the test expecting danger and death, yet it seemed to be anything but. However, his sense of bewilderment intensified as shadowy, black-hair tentacles emerged from behind him, fully enveloping him. A voice from the darkness questioned him, asking if he was its master. Kim Giju's surroundings remained obscured, and he could not see the source of the voice, which sounded like a young boy. In the midst of this strange encounter, the voice expressed frustration at Kim Giju's inability to answer its questions. The voice claimed to have been waiting for a long time and requested a name from him to establish a link. Puzzled and bewildered, Kim Giju questioned the voice, unable to comprehend the situation. The voice, clearly exasperated with him, emphasized the importance of giving it a name for the link to take place. The system message added that an ego had requested to link with him, seeking permission to do so. Realizing that he had to choose a name for the ego, Kim Giju was overwhelmed by the sudden turn of events. As he pondered the significance of this moment, everything around him suddenly went black and he started to lose his consciousness. As Kim Giju lay on the hospital bed, slowly regaining consciousness, he was met with the familiar faces of his sister and Taeshik rushing to his side. It had been 2 weeks since he was discovered unconscious inside the 5th floor. Taeshik explained that some guild members had come across the smoke bomb and found the Guardian at the entrance to the 5th floor. Unfortunately, before they could defeat it, the Guardian managed to escape, leaving it at large. Relieved to know that the other party members he was guiding had made it out safely, they visited him in the hospital, bringing comfort to his heart. Kim Giju assured his family that everything would be taken care of by insurance, urging them to get some rest and not worry about him. He looked out the hospital window, pondering the events that had unfolded. Despite passing the test on the 5th floor, Kim Giju couldn't help but feel a sense of disappointment. He had expected to level up, but he was still stuck at level 1. As he stood by the window lost in thought, a silver metallic snake ring started to form on his index finger, seemingly appearing out of thin air. As Kim Giju stood outside the association building, he is adorned in his guide uniform. His silver snake ring glowed with an intense red aura, signifying the power that lay within him, the power of his enigmatic ego. Stepping through the portal, he emerged on the 1st floor, where other players were engaged in battles against goblins. As soon as he appeared, all eyes turned towards him, intrigued by the presence of the guide who had once been rumored to be unable to level up. However, the whispers of the past were quickly overshadowed by a new reputation that had spread like wildfire: the tutorial slayer. Kim Gijoo's heroic feat of overcoming the fifth floor test had earned him a new title, turning him into a legend among players. As he approached the door leading to the next floor, the atmosphere was tense. Beyond the door awaited a field teeming with menacing goblins and orcs. Yet, undeterred, Kim Gijoo calmly stepped forward, dropping his backpack with determination etched on his face. With a sudden surge of power, the ring on his finger transforms into a wicked black sword with a red eye at the top of the handle. The sword crackles with red electric light, and Kim Gijoo faces the oncoming monsters fearlessly. In a flash, he vanishes from sight, leaving behind only streaks of red light as he moves with incredible speed between the monsters, slashing them down with a single strike. The monsters are taken by surprise, unable to comprehend what is happening as their numbers dwindle rapidly. Kim Gijoo charges forward, unfazed by the danger, as he jumps and strikes the ground with his sword, creating a massive shockwave that cleaves the enemies in half. In the midst of the battle, Kim Gijoo recalls the moment he gave a name to the mysterious voice during the fifth floor test: RU. The voice, now known as RU, has become his loyal partner and the source of his newfound power. With each swing of his sword, he taps into RU's abilities, cutting through the monsters effortlessly. The status window displays Kim Gijoo's current information: name, Kim Gijoo, level 1, class and ego's partner, innate ability link, the power to connect with an ego, skill assimilate, enabling him to unify with the linked ego and utilize its abilities. As for RU, the status window reveals level 8, strength 18, dexterity 18, health 7, magic 7, and the skill accessory transformation. As the battle continues, the status window updates, showing that RU has reached level 9, further enhancing its strength and capabilities.